right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Tricks of the Trade. Tricks of the Trade, healing words. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Mostly, well, we're going to start off talking about uh, my healing process right now.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, just going through it. Well, first off, this is Neil Hebert. This is GM Hebert,
Hey.
hanging out with Tricks of the Trade today. Tricks of the Trade is all about talking about DM, talking about being a dungeon master or being a game master, talking about TTRPGs, also talking about books, movies, art, culture, food, whatever we want to talk about. Because
I have not been able to game lately, just the job, and it's just been too busy at the home
that's
front.
okay.
So all I've been doing is reading. So I have a lot of book recommendations for people on the forums.
Nice.
But let's hear what you've been going through.
I had a surgery earlier in the month, a dental surgery that was pretty in depth. So
what happened? Just had an infected tooth or something?
Yeah, I had an infection that lasted pretty much throughout all of May, and I couldn't do anything about it because I was in London and getting antibiotics there was pain. So I had to wait, and it made it worse. And so now I'm dealing with that. But I'm all clean now. It's just a healing process now.
Oof. Did they take the tooth out or?
No, they actually saved the tooth.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I have a very good doctor. But it is like he beat the odds on it, so it hurts.
Yeah.
I'm on a lot of medication. But I was thinking about something you wrote, Neil, where you wrote on Facebook, you're like, what is a spoiler alert, we're both progressives. What is a conservative viewpoint that you have?
Yeah. That post blew up on my newsfeed.
I think it's interesting. Like, what's a conservative viewpoint you have that you're did you say ashamed of, or you're proud of, or
just what's the most right-wing belief you have for all the lefty Marxists and college professors on my Facebook? And
I have discovered something that I think this is I'm not sure if this is like a right-wing, left-wing axis, but it feels like it is.
Mm-hmm.
There is, the more progressive you are, I would say, pretty easily, the more likely you are to be empathetic and sympathetic towards other people's emotions and feelings and status, general well-being. So I think there's a justifiable thing that happens with progressives where they think, oh, I need to empathize with this person in pain. Mm-hmm. So I need to justify their pain and need to make it real and say the common reaction to, if I say like, I'm healing right now, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm getting better, they will say, oh man, that sucks. God, that's the worst. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And to someone in pain, that's the last thing they want to hear.
Right. They're aware that it sucks.
They are acutely aware that they are in acute pain.
Yeah.
So, and I think it is much more of a liberal thing to go there. I might be wrong, but I find like with conservatives, I think there's much more of an uplifting, even if it might be like toxic, there's much more of a like, you got this, hang in, you got it, like you're strong. You're strong. Like, I know you're strong, you got this. Like, it's nothing. Even the toxic shit of like, it's nothing, you're gonna get through it. Or like, don't be a wuss. Like that's the far end where I'm like, okay, let's not do that.
Don't be weak, right?
Don't be weak, right? You're strong. But even that, I think, is better than, that's the worst, man. Let's drag you down into the swamp and the mire that you already are in. Mm-hmm. I know it's bad. I know it is.
Yeah.
You don't need to remind me. I don't know. It was something I was thinking of. What do you think?
I think that's a pretty good one. I know I've been listening to a political podcast that that I subscribe to now called Breaking Points, and it's got right-wing hosts and left-wing hosts. But instead of focusing on debate, they try to focus on what they can agree on.
Oh, cool.
And they're all anti-Trump because like one of the hosts is an Indian Republican who voted for Trump and just really regrets it. And then it's like one of Megyn Kelly's radio show, like she hosts the post Megyn Kelly show radio show call-ins. So they're really cool. And they convinced me that gambling should be illegal. because it's like obviously like a home card game is different, and bingo is different to me because I grew up in South Louisiana where everyone's Catholic, so you can't take away bingo. But
Yeah.
anything more serious than bingo, it's like, is there a social upside to that? Like, I'm not sure there is anymore. Like, I'm not sure allowing people the freedom to wager money, like, because gambling at a casino is always a bad idea, as you know, because you used to be a
I
casino
used to be a
dealer.
casino
Like,
dealer.
the reason casinos make money is because the house always
Always wins. The lights are on
over.
for a reason. Yeah.
Yep. So it's
Um,
like, is there any point just allowing that to go on? Because it seems like apparently I haven't seen the numbers, so I need to look at it. But apparently, in states where gambling is legal, domestic violence is statistically more likely.
oh, I completely. Oh, yeah, yeah. But you think it should be legal. You're here for it.
I think I'm at the point where outlawing casinos, I think I'm there.
Oh, you want to outlaw casinos?
Yeah, I think that's my right wing opinion now is that
Oh, right,
there's
right.
my
Wait,
conservative opinion is there's no social justification for serious legalized gambling.
is it a left-wing opinion to say like we should be able to gamble?
Yeah, it's permissive, right? Like that's you know, like, but I don't know. So it's
Well,
certainly
well,
morally
hold on.
conservative.
Well, because Louisiana has legal gambling. You can gamble.
We sure do.
You have legal gambling. California is much more restrictive.
Hmm.
Like
So
you
it's
can't.
weird because
Yeah.
it's like social conservatives oppose gambling, economic conservatives say legalize everything and tax it. So like your libertarian point of view would be legalize it. So just listening to Breaking Points, they have convinced me. I think the socially conservative Indian immigrant is like, yeah, we should get rid of gambling. So that's my current right wing opinion. But I like the podcast because they have a University of Chicago professor named Robert Pape come on who specializes in war escalation. And he's been doing weekly segments on the Iran war and predicting what's going to happen every step. He's like, well, if they escalate, this is going to happen. If they don't, this is going to happen. It's like I've learned so much just from listening to this podcast, but that's what got me to post the Facebook status about what's your most right-wing opinion.
Right.
It was that podcast that I've been listening to.
Here's what I would say, maybe as a devil's advocate, because I hate gambling. I hate it.
Yeah.
But what I would say is like there's been some new reports on like how Vegas is doing, how like they don't give a shit if new people come to Vegas. Like tourism has dropped
Yeah.
precipitously, but they don't care because the high money rollers are still coming. Like
Right.
the big money is still rolling in.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about, if Jim and Pam from the Midwest make their trip
Yeah.
out to Vegas. They don't care anymore because they're getting most of their money from the 2%.
The Trump boys or someone
Yeah.
with that level of wealth. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
whales.
The whales are coming in and they're pumping them full, so they're fine. I'm fine with whales gambling. They have the money.
Mhm.
And like just like how Trey said, like if you tax that, great. So
Yeah.
if it was just whales,
It'd be fine.
yeah,
But
maybe there's a but that sounds awful to be like you need to make a certain amount to gamble. Like you
Well,
need to have
It's true though. Like I mean, I've mentioned this on the stream before. My wife is very active in the recovery community, and gambling is an addiction because of dopamine addiction. So
Yeah.
like the people that are susceptible to it they are going to lose their houses. They're going to lose money that should be spent on necessities. So like, I sound like a rich Republican. I am not rich. I'm a very poor college professor for anyone who hasn't watched Tricks of the Trade before. I'm a theater professor, the lowest of the low. So, I'm not like, oh yeah, only the big rollers should deserve to gamble. Like, no, fuck rich people. But like in this instance, I see the logic. I really do.
I think you sell yourself short because you are a very talented professor at what you
I'm
do.
I'm a talented professor. Yeah. So if I hadn't gotten this tenure track job, my wife had convinced me to apply for MFA programs in directing, and I was first on the waiting list for Northwestern, where they pay you $60K and an assistantship to go. And like they loved me, but like I got this job, so I didn't have to go back to grad school. I'm just directing for Grambling State University, which I love. So you've been sick, so you haven't seen this. My book came out. The Trump book came out that I wrote on using pro wrestling to explain Donald Trump. Then I got quoted in the New Yorker. They published me in the New Yorker magazine for my thoughts on AI and pedagogy. I did get in trouble at Grambling with that because I'm not a fan of AI, and I did say that I fail people who use AI. So Grambling, of course, not Grambling, Yahoo News picked that up and said, "Meet the professor who fails everyone who uses AI." And it's like they left out a key word, which is unauthorized use of AI because it's plagiarism. So I had to explain to administration, I like, this is my policy. And I'm like, it might sound extreme, but you'll note, and I put a hyperlink, I got it directly from the Grambling State University website. So it's not really my policy so much as our policy.
Right.
And that calmed everyone down. And then on top of that, I just had an article appear in an international periodical called New Lines, where they asked me and my co-writer of the Trump book to talk about UFC 250, the Freedom UFC event. So that you were sick during, but that came out last Monday on their blog, and it blew up. So I've been like a very active, like public-facing scholar for once.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool.
Good, Neil. Nice.
Yeah. Yes. That's so for any readers that want to read a left-wing analysis of the Trump administration using professional wrestling as a way to make sense of it, you can download that book for free if you look for Kayfabe Nation, Neil Hebert. The press we chose does open access publishing. So you can buy a physical copy, but you can download the ebook for free. And we just got contacted by a scholar in Russia wanting to translate it into Russian, which is like a real trip. So that's my first academic book. So yeah, that's been, and I'm also teaching this summer too for extra money.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
you can also dungeon master for extra money too.
I could, but I want to.
Do it.
Cece, my wife, was like, "Why don't you charge like Michael does?" And it's like I could, like
you could,
yes,
Neil.
I
You have
could.
the know-how, and you have all the things there for you. Just
I know. I just
create a thing, and then start putting it up. That's how I started. You just got to do a thing.
And it's like I could very easily do D&D, but my heart right now is because I want to get back to my Dungeons of Drakkenheim campaign, my online and my in-person, but I'm kind of Drakkenheimed out. Like, it's a great setting, and just there are new games coming out. And did I send you the game I just bought?
No, what game did you just buy?
Oh yes, I believe I did. It's called Public Access. It's set in the 2005, and it's about a group of people who grew up in the 80s in a small town in New Mexico who all watched a Pee-wee's Playhouse style children's show that no one remembers, except other people on a forum.
Yes.
And it's designed so that you're all back in town for the summer. You didn't know each other when you were kids, but you all grew up in this town. You've all rented a house, and you're looking for the TV station that disappeared. Like, it didn't burn down. It's just not existent anymore. And like part of the process of making characters, your other players decide your gear. And if you use the gear they give you, you get bonuses. So like one of the people, it's the newest Quinn's Quest. So for people that don't follow Quinn's Quest, that is a tabletop RPG podcast or YouTube series you can watch where they review non-D&D style tabletop RPGs. So like they reviewed Public Access in the newest Quinn's Quest. He raved about it. He says it's perfect for like 7 to 12 session games because the campaign does have an endpoint. Mm-hmm. And it's a mystery campaign. So like I picked that up. And the other thing I picked up was Stonetop, which I know you've already looked at. You're going to play when I finally get it going. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited for that because I haven't been able to run a game for you in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, I'd love to play, man.
But Stonetop, like the design of that it's very much stuck in my head. So people that are seeing me wiggle a lot, I've got some cats that are sick and they are coming for attention. So my hollandaise and my eggs Benedict hey cannoli, they're all like we got pee on the couch. It's been a thing for a month. But can I give some book recommendations?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so since the last time we did this, I've read a lot. The first thing I read that was really cool, it might be too academic for some people, but it's science fiction. It's called Eifelheim, and it's about in the near future, a physics professor who is married to a historian are both obsessed with their respective research, and the historian is obsessed with a town called Eifelheim that existed about 700 years ago in Germany. And he starts to believe and half the book is from the point of view of the priest of Eifelheim. A spaceship crashes in the Black Forest, and the priest ministers the word of Christ to the grasshopper space aliens. And it's all about the town dealing with these space aliens and their ship, some of whom convert to Christianity because their grasshopper society is based on racial castes. So it's wild. So it's like really fun. So that's the first thing I read. I started and read most of Sylvain Neuvel's A History of What Comes Next, which is like a science fiction series about some women who have existed for 50 generations since they came to the earth, and their only thing is they're fleeing the bad men, and they have a quest that they do from generation to generation. They advance science to try to take humanity to the stars.
Oh shit.
That's all you know. So that was really fun. I did Emily St. John Mandel's Station 11, which is a post-pandemic, post-apocalyptic world about a theater troupe that goes from town to town performing Shakespeare in the apocalypse. That was really good. But okay, the one I want to focus on the most, and I think it's of interest to people that like Game of Thrones, it's a book series by Tasha Suri the book one is called The Jasmine Throne. The series is called The Burning Kingdoms, and it's an India-themed fantasy trilogy that veers into cosmic horror in a really weird way. So like basically imagine if the others had a viewpoint in Game of Thrones. In the second book, one of these creatures called the Yaksa show up wearing the dead body of a character who died in book one, made mostly of vines. And the creature is from outside reality, but it's taken on flesh, and it's taken on memories and personality from corporealizing itself. And at some point in the middle of the second book, one of the characters has a baby, and the Yaksa have shown up, and one of the other characters says, "I don't know how to tell you this, but the Yaksa seem to be obsessed with your child."
Oh, that's great.
And they just start following it around. But yeah, it was really cool trilogy. It's like lesbian main characters. Most of the main characters are either gay or lesbian. So there's like a subjugated country that is part of a province of this larger empire that has never had an empress, but there's a woman who's the princess whose brother is a religious fanatic, and she wouldn't burn herself alive for faith. So he imprisoned her until she will take the flames and burn herself alive. And they're dosing her with like drugs, and she falls in love with the subjugated kingdom's nursemaid that's sent to her to be a maid. So that was really fun. I really enjoyed it. If that sounds cool to y'all, I think y'all would like it. The other things I've been reading, and I was telling Mike about this before, there's one of my all-time new favorite science fiction novels. I finished it by Mahmoud El-Sayed, The Republic of Memory. It's a generation ship. So for people that aren't science fiction fans, that's when you send a ship at slower than light speed travel, and you just assume the crew is gonna breed for however many generations it takes to get there. Well, it's called Arab futurist sci-fi, so it's based on the Arab Spring rebellions in it's like 2010, 2008, whenever that was. And the ship is 200 years into a 400-year journey, and someone sabotages the ship. And it's not clear if it's the communists, it's not clear if it's the triads, it's not clear if it's like religious fanatics, but there's 100,000 frozen colonists in the cargo bay that have to be treated like cargo till they get to the planet, because they're all like specialists in weather, specialists in terraforming. So the crew have basically taken a vote to just stay alive for the 400 years and breed their replacements. and the ship is permanently under, like imperial rule by the captain and the administration, and they've divided the ship into sections based on language. So an entire culture has grown up, not based around religion, not based around nations, but based around the language you speak. And lawyers speak multiple languages and they handle all the translation. All the administrators speak English, but we're focused on the Arab deck that speaks a version of Arabic. So really cool book. If that sounds cool to you, I think you'd like it. And I'm gonna get back to some fantasy series soon, but after the 3-book Indian Game of Thrones trilogy, I was like, I need a break. I need something that's like a 1-book series. I can just like not be stuck.
I have a lot of players asking me for sci-fi stuff, so I'm dipping back and making some sigil stuff. But I want to jump back to
for Planescape.
Yeah, I'm making some more Planescape. I want to jump back. Cool. I want to jump back to gambling, because I don't know if I told you the story of when I was a dealer. Because I dealt mostly blackjack, but then I also dealt Caribbean stud, 3-card poker, and also Fortune Pai Gow.
Which I don't know that last one.
Fortune Pai Gow is basically a game if you want to stew in the casino, because it doesn't take a lot of money. You don't win a lot. You don't lose a lot.
It sounds great.
You just kind of hang out. You hang out with Fortune Pai Gow. Like all the bets are very low, and there's a lot of pushing. So you just hang out and you drink. That's what Fortune Pai Gow is. Okay. But there is a fortune bet you can make in Fortune Pai Gow, where you put a little bit of money there, and typically you lose it. You like put a dollar there and you lose it. But if you win big, you win big. And someone won a Fortune Pai Gow's you get a big hand. You get like 8 or 9 cards. You get 7 cards. You get 7 cards because someone won a 7-card straight flush with a joker.
Whoa.
Which is pretty big. Yeah. And so the payout was like $26,000 or something like that. So like pit bosses.
Did you get in trouble?
Oh no! I mean, I thought I was, because they're looking at me. They're looking at the tape. The whole rigmarole.
Making sure he's not counting cards.
Yeah, making sure
you're not in on it.
Yeah, they went over everything. And they're like, it's fine. Yeah, that's a clean win. So I push out $26,000 to this dude, and I was like, it was winter time, and I was like, Merry Christmas, sir. And he looks at it and he goes, well, I guess I'm about even then. And I quit a week later. I was like, well, I'm done. All I'm doing here is taking money from old people. I'm just taking their rent money. So it felt awful.
Of course it did.
Yeah. So I get it, man. I get it. You don't want to. I get saying like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this. And this shouldn't be a part of civil society.
Exactly. It's not clear to me that it doesn't just corrupt, like what use does society get from this thing?
Here's what I would say is that, like, that's on Casino Rouge, where it's a night out. You might have a night out and have a good time. And
I went there once just to play blackjack at your table and support you. And I remember the other players got mad at me because I was ruining the cards because I didn't know how to play blackjack well enough. So they started playing for me.
Which is just nonsense. It's all fucking bullshit. Anyway. My point is, like, that's not the big problem these days. The big problem is poly market. It's like it's all the online shit. It's all the sports betting, and like that's gotten way out of control.
Well, have you seen that what's currently going on is betting on the Iran war? There's clearly insider trading going on Kalshi, to the point that like it's very clear people at the Pentagon and people in the president's orbit are making insider bets.
Of course they are.
In fact, at UFC 250, one of the commentators got in trouble because Eric Trump texted him asking
I
for
heard this.
inside information
I
about the
heard
fights,
this.
wanting to know which fights were fixed. And Daniel Cormier posted it all upset because he was a former fighter and they made him take it down.
Yep.
He's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
I got hacked." Like, "Oh, including your responses, those were
Right.
hacked too."
Right. Those are all hacked.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all hacked. Yeah, sure it is.
But yeah, like the gambling thing, it's I just feel like if this like Kalshi, why do they have to put a dollar sign on everything? Right? Like, why am I allowed to bet on whether, Israel breaks a ceasefire? Why am I allowed to monetarily benefit from, like, will a genocide be happening in a random African country? Like that to me is another thing that's just like, I don't know. This is the weirdest tricks of the trade ever.
That's all right. That's okay. Hey guys, I mean, put these in your game. Put gambling in your game.
So I'm gonna grab a water real quick. This is while it's weird, I forgot to bring my water in here.
No worries. Get your water. Get your water. While you're joining us, if you can, subscribe to the channel. Also, we are playing.
Let's talk about D&D while we're talking about gambling. How does that make you feel about me gambling my dice rolls every week with you?
Well, you don't lose money. That's different. That's fun.
I mean, I am paying you every week.
That's different. You're paying me for
an experience.
You're paying for the experience to play with me.
Curated experience.
Yeah, curated experience. The fact that you can also gamble is silly. I mean, I
would not consider paying a GM gambling.
Chat, I think that means Mike wants to end all chat predictions.
No, I love chat predictions. Those are great. No, that type of gambling, like we had that in I did that for a while out here in California, where they don't have they have special places where you can go gamble. They do have casinos. Like there's
are they on the water like in Louisiana? So they have maritime.
No, they're like way out in the desert. Like you got there's Morongo, which is like close to Palm Springs. So there are casinos where you can go do it. But outside of that, you can like rent out. I work for a company that rented out tables, and you go do the table. You can go to a private party, and then it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, like fake chips and everything. That's cool because it's all fake. It's all like nonsense, but it still kind of feeds into the ecosystem. Because it's like play school, or it's like what do you call it? Like Fisher Price gambling. Like it funnels into the real thing.
Okay.
So, but it's fine. I'm okay with that. But in terms of like gambling in D&D, I love gambling in D&D. Love that shit.
Setting something at a casino is really fun.
Yeah.
Or a whorehouse.
There's a casino in one of the Planescape books, actually. Yes, in the Planescape setting. The Planescape setting books, one of them has a like Sigillian casino, and the way they set it up is really cool. Yeah, I recommend looking that up. It's really dope. But yeah, like my DM Tauzy roll, that's how I solve the crit fumble and crit success table. Is you can, it's up to you, roll a D100. Because I saw a couple of DMs talking about how you can succeed so hard you fail, or you fail so hard you succeed. Or you could fail so hard you fail really, really badly. Or you could succeed so hard that you just like super succeed. So you can roll a D100 if you get a nat 1 or nat 20 in my games, but you have to accept the consequences.
I mean, it's kind of fun. Like sometimes if someone critically fails, you can interpret that to be the worst possible outcome, which isn't the same thing as failing. Like, what if you accidentally kill the person you're trying to capture on a natural one?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Or, like I know in Unknown Armies, when you roll a 100, because it's a percentile system, what they say is the worst thing short of, but sometimes including death happens, depending on what skill you are using or what you are attempting to do. And I remember I was running a game of Unknown Armies where everyone worked in McDonald's, and they send out Happy Meals with magical charges to try to make reality happier for people. Well, they all had guns because they're players, and I had the McDonald's get robbed as the inciting incident for the campaign, because I was like, oh, okay, well, they'll track down the thieves, they'll do this. One of the guys just pulls out a gun and fires, and his first roll he critically fails. And or it was a critical fail on a dodge as the other person starts shooting, and he critically failed. I'm like, I don't think this campaign can happen, because we just lost a major player character on the first real roll.
Hey man, hey, it happens. It happens. I had someone described it as, I can't remember who. Someone described it as like if you're trying to kick down a door, and you get a nat 20, or like you get a nat 20 and there's a crit success table or whatever you have, whatever you're using. If you're using like a DM Tauzy roll, if you roll low on that, you kick down that door, but now your foot's stuck in the door.
Fair.
And now you're looking at, a poker table of orcs who are grabbing their swords and looking at you, and you're stuck in the door. Or if you crit fail against the door, you hit it with your shoulder and it doesn't open, but then you hear the sound of, like you hit it so hard, you hear the sound of an orc passing out on the other side of it. Yeah. You knocked him out because he was next to the door. So you failed to knock on the door, but you knocked out someone on the other side. So you could fail so hard you succeed. You could succeed so hard.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's fun to like play with that, like play with the cartoonish nature of like how things can get silly, especially if you want them. But the real kicker is that the players have the option to do it, so it's not forced on you.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it like sing. Because then you get
allowing people to gamble like that sounds fun.
It is. And then you have certain personalities, you have like gambling personalities who want to do it, and then you have shyer people who are like, I'm happy with my nat 20 the way it is.
Yeah.
It's I get double my dice, I'm happy with that.
Like as a player, I'm an instigator. I like stuff to happen.
Yeah.
I hate planning. Yeah. I hate all. I'm just like, just kick down the door. Like, we'll figure out the plan on the way. Like, let the dice happen. Like, I'm here to have fun. Play your character like you drive a stolen car.
Yeah. Yes.
But
So yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe gambling should be completely legal.
That's my opinion.
I don't know how you destroy the entire system because it's so aggressively, exponentially growing at this point.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
I mean, we have a crypto president. That's
a crypto president.
It's like that. That is how the Trump family now maintains its billionaire status through crypto. Like that's, and like no one has ever been able to explain crypto to me in a way that doesn't make it sound like a complete fucking scam.
No, it just sounds like, well, no, because it's non-fiat. It's just weird. It's a weird alternate thing.
When my student, because I have a lot of computer engineering students and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, Dr. Hebert, because they're all African. Because I'm at a historically black college and university, and in Africa, there aren't that many HBCUs that are internationally famous. Grambling, being one of the older ones, is. So we get the best students from like elite boarding schools in Nigeria and Ghana. Like, no, you do not understand, Dr. Hebert. The crypto, it is like this. And like that sounds like a scam, Prince. To me, it's like, no, you don't understand. They explain more like that. Just sounds more like a scam with extra steps obscuring the fact that it's a scam.
Yeah.
They're the same ones that love AI. They're like, no, it is great because AI is going to eliminate all of the low-level coders. And I'm like, but when you graduate from Grambling with a computer science degree, aren't you going to need an entry-level position? And they're like,
gone.
And they're like, oh. So yeah. So I don't know. I think we have the current presidency is very much tied to the gambling industry, very much tied to deregulation of things like that. So I think, right now it's very hard to imagine what the world would be like without gambling.
I hope the next president, hopefully it's not. I just hope the next president just puts limits on it. Just puts huge limits on their own power.
I mean,
that'd be really nice. Real fucking nice.
It would be really nice because I don't know. We just saw that Kirsten Gillibrand, the Democratic senator from New York, her son graduated from college, And he opened a company, got 30 million in donations from the industry that Kirsten Gillibrand regulates, and his company was immediately valued at $300 million on the day it opened because of the amount of investment he was able to get. And it's like, in a different era, she would have to resign. Like 50 years ago, she would have to resign if that happened. But now, like, all corruption is just so normalized that it's not at all clear to me what it's going to take. I think it's going to take someone our age or younger becoming president, because everyone I talk to is angry. Republican or Democrat, all of them are angry at the status quo.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But that's great for you because you're selling escapism, right? As a professional DM, your reality sucks. Come pretend to be a hero in this closed system that you can control.
That's right.
And it's fun. I mean, it's
the only thing I can control. It's kind of, there's a melancholy to that of being like, well, at least I can control this.
When COVID happened and I was still teaching high school, my students are like, Dr. Hebert, I don't know, blah, 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 I'm just stressed out. I'm like, well, you could be stressed out, or you could accept that you have no control whatsoever of what's happening. You're at zero state. And when you're at zero state, you can be anything. Anything's possible because you have control over nothing. You just go with the flow. And they're like, Dr. Hebert, that's horrible. And I'm like, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with this. I guess the recovery talk from the Alcoholics Anonymous community is rubbing off on me, with a wife very involved in recovery. It's like, just stop future tripping. Just take the moment as it is.
Yep. That's why I love playing. That's why I love playing with new people. Play with new people.
Oh, it's the best. Playing with new people is the absolute best.
Yeah, I got a player just the other day who's now a player in my Saturday games, and like doesn't know how to play D&D, but of course has played all of Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm like,
so they know how to play D&D.
Yeah, I'm like, I got nothing to teach you, dude. I got nothing to teach you. You
probably know the rules as well as me.
Yeah, you're fine. All it is at that point is just like help them out with the mechanics of it. That's it. That's with the mechanics of Roll20. That's it. That's all I have to do.
And D&D is not the best newbie-friendly game. I think the Powered by the Apocalypse games are probably the best intro to the hobby, which is what StoneTop is.
Yeah, let's talk about StoneTop.
Okay, well, the way you play these games is you just describe what your character does narratively, and whenever what you describe triggers a move to happen, you roll the dice. And the GM's job is to determine when a rule is invoked. And the first rule of Powered by the Apocalypse games is that when you do a thing, you do a thing. Like you verify that I am doing this thing. I'm going to roll the dice and whatever happens, happens. No backsies, nothing like that. Like, so there's always consequences. And moves trigger other moves in the conversation. So it's like moves will snowball. But what I love about StoneTop, so for people that don't know this, I found out about this from an episode of the Eldritch Lorecast, which I know Mike also listens to. And because they were talking about the newest episode at that time of Quinn's Quest, which reviews tabletop RPGs. And Quinn said that StoneTop is the single best tabletop RPG campaign he's ever run.
Yeah.
And it's because of the rules. So my wife's asleep, so she doesn't know this, but I dropped $150 on the books to get hard copies and the PDFs, because StoneTop is the rule book for the players and then the setting guide, which is 650 pages. But the setting guide is the coolest setting guide I have seen for a non-D&D game. Because I think the Grim Hollow stuff is the best setting in D&D.
Right.
Probably. I need to see the new Ravenloft stuff, because I hear that's really good too, the new Ravenloft books.
I'm waiting for someone to give it to me. Waiting for someone to purchase for me. But I think someone will. What I'm seeing is there's a lot of rehashed content, but they've upgraded it, which people have problems with, which I understand. I get that. It's like I've already purchased, my Hollow Knight Ranger, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now I have to do it again. But apparently it is very good. Yeah.
So Stonetop gives you 4-page spreads in alphabetical order of different locations. There is no canon except what's true in your game. And the way it works is there's a list of questions the GM is instructed to choose from the first time an element is encountered, either during character creation or travel. So the players will come up with the canonical answers for the world of Stonetop, which is an Iron Age RPG where you are building up a village, and the village has its own character sheet as well. So like, there are these creatures, I don't remember the name of them off the top of my head, I'm going to call them gravelings. And one of the questions the GM can ask is, what do the gravelings attempt to steal from houses with open windows in the village of Stonetop each night? And so the questions always come baked in with some sort of assumption that generates a playable activity in the world. So all of a sudden, by asking that question, you've communicated that there is a problem in the community of Stonetop involving these gravelings, such that the community deals with it. In Quinn's game, the answer his players gave is, well, they try to steal children.
That's where my mind went. Well, first I thought pies, and I was like, no, it's not good enough. How about kids?
Every house has a fake cradle with a wooden doll in it as a lure for these creatures, and like that. And that's the kind of thing that Stonetop has you do. It has you ask these questions of your players, and the players will determine what it's like. So I'm going to open up something from Stonetop real quick, and I'm just going to give you a good example. Not through Sunken Lands. Where'd Stonetop go? That's Sam Shepard's buried child. Who even knows at this point where my Stonetop is? Let me pull it up on Google Drive. Never mind. I'm not going to do that because none of my shit's pulled up. Sorry, guys. It's the worst content ever from me. I apologize.
That's fine.
But yeah, so Stonetop has lots of stuff like that. And the character classes are really cool too because they come with baked-in assumptions. So there's one character class that's dedicated to occult magic items. And the magic items in Stonetop are the most badass magical items I've ever seen.
Well, give me some examples. What do they do?
One example is there's this thing that if you use it, you can ask questions of the void and the void will respond. And eventually, once you've either succeeded or failed enough times, you unlock the true power of the thing. So you start your character class, if you pick the Seeker, I think it's called, starts off with 2 minor arcana and 1 major arcana. And they haven't unlocked the true power of the major arcana, but every major arcana does world-altering things. So like, there's one thing that creates a crystal golem that can then walk around and speak. That there's another that eventually you turn into a ghost as you give up your physical essence to speak across distances. It's stuff like that. So, there's a sword that does like, I forget what the sword does, but there's 24 major artifact-like magical power items. And the game instructs you, like, throw these at your players, and you give them half of a playing card, which has, this is what you think the artifact does. Then when you've marked 3 different conditions on the card, you can flip it over and see the true power of the artifact. And all of the true powers of the artifact damage your character in some way or change your character for the better or usually for the worse, because you're given great power and then you have to deal with it.
Right on.
So it's a lot of decisions and consequences. But for me, as someone who does not run paid games, I do not have to provide a consistent service for every group I run stuff for. So What that means is I can really tailor my campaigns to the player base. And that's something I love doing. That's probably why I don't do a lot of charging or do any charging at this point.
Well, you can still do that. Mm-hmm. It just comes down to like volume. If you're just doing like 2 games, if you have like just one, if you have 1 game, you can still do whatever you want. There's no rules to this.
Because our game of Stone Top is going to be every other week on, I think you said Thursdays is the night you can do it in Central Time. So it's going to be Thursdays. And only half of my D&D players were interested in playing a non-D&D system, which...
I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, like, because it's going to be you, Billy, who used to be our Unknown Armies GM, and my friend Mark, who's a philosophy professor, who's also a game designer and really into non-D&D games. And I think that might be it.
That's all right. We'll do it.
Because I asked Trey, but Trey was first like, I don't know if I can afford it. Like, bro, I ain't selling this shit. But the timing just didn't work for Trey.
Yeah, we're just trying it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll get somebody. I can also post it to my Discord.
We can get a four. I'm trying to remember it because it's Billy. I really thought my other theater professor friend was going to want to do it, but he's like,
we'll get at least two more. We'll get at least two more. You figure it out when you want to start.
Stone Top is perfect for 4 players and 1 GM.
What are the limitations? It's Iron Age. What are the limitations for Iron Age?
So it is like, there are a couple cities, but for the most part, it's a post-apocalyptic setting in the ashes of a great empire.
And the circumstances of the apocalypse are up to you.
Yes. There are certain areas where there are things that are dead, and typically what caused the apocalypse is usually linked to one of the like Cthulhu eldritch gods kind of thing. So there's like a lake where a deep one lives lurking, and for every Stone Top game, all of the people of Stone Top fear still water, because only bad things exist in still water, like lakes. So it's but there's a lot of tailoring for the game. So there's like the center of the world is the village of Stone Top, which you are constantly adding new stuff to the character sheet. So like session 0 is a 3-hour session where you collaboratively populate the town with people that your characters care about.
And that's the town that you live in.
You are linked to this town, and the town levels up narratively, just like the characters level up narratively. So if you want to make a market, you have to do certain things. Also, Stone Top is on the edge of a woods that's nearby, and in the past, the ancestors in Stone Top made a promise with the children of the forest that they would never cut a tree. No one has seen the children of the forest for a generation. And the trees are right there. And you sure could use them in Stone Top to make nicer houses. What are you gonna do?
You don't cut that tree.
That's a first session question. Like becoming loggers is an option.
Right.
So there's seasonal things that you happen. So it's kind of like the old D&D campaign of Birthright, where you've got your adventure mode and then you've got ruler mode. But for y'all, it'll be like you go back to Stone Top and the DM will be like, well, how's your mom doing? And they'll because you've come up with all these NPCs, you deeply care about them.
Oh, right.
And the other players are
cool.
asking you questions too. So like, one of the most important questions for some of the characters is going to be, how many children do you have? Do you have a wife? Do you have a husband? Do you want a wife or a husband? So courting someone becomes part of the game too.
Right.
Because your character has ties to the community, and the community is what grounds everything.
That's rad. I just don't.
There's
You remember the game ActRaiser?
I do remember the game ActRaiser. I loved ActRaiser.
There really wasn't anything like ActRaiser when it came out of a game.
And the sequel was not like the first one. They took out the city semming stuff.
Yeah,
in the sequel.
Oh, why'd they do that?
I don't know. It was like the best thing about the game. It was like,
yeah,
you have SimCity, then you have your adventure.
Yeah, there's 3 games in one. Like how wildly creative for a game where the first
super fun. Yeah. It was a super fun game. I also really liked Soul Blazer. If you ever played that. Soul Blazer, one of the convenience stores in Franklin, Louisiana, rented it. And
you're talking about Soul Blazer now. We're talking about the trio. You're talking about Soul Blazer,
Secret of Evermore,
Illusion of Gaia.
Illusion of Gaia. That's it.
Secret of Evermore also was another one. Yep. They all had some of the same designers. Very wild, very creative.
Very cool.
I've beaten all of them. Great games.
I would love to see a spiritual successor to those come out.
Illusion of Gaia Illusion of Gaia.
So good.
It's kind of like an ActRaiser thing where you're like building up the world. The world is like
Mhm.
a despot thing. It's like lost its soul.
Yeah.
You're kind of putting it together.
Unlocking new lands and
You're
stuff.
unlocking new
Really
lands.
cool.
And at the end of it, you discover like as it all comes together, you unlocked Earth. Like it is the Earth.
There's like a French area I remember going to. Another one that was like that was Dragon Quest VI, which was Dragon Warrior 6.
Oh, yes.
All the world is Estard. I remember that was the ad, and you're just a little city on an island. Then you get sucked into the past, and then as you change things in the past, more of the world appears, and you're reconstructing the world and foiling the plot of the evil demon Estark or whatever. Like it was really cool. I love stuff like that where you're like building the world together. So I think that's why Stonetop spoke to me so much.
That's very cool. I'm very excited then.
It's going to be fun. You already played with Billy, so you know Billy's a great player. I was like, Billy, we could try to stream it. He's like, I don't want to make our art for the public. I was like, all right,
it to be a product.
Like I get it, but I feel like there's enough theater people and interesting people that we know that it would actually be pretty entertaining to see. But
that sounds really rad.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. And I've sent you Stonetop. I've sent you the PDFs for
what, public access?
Public access. That was the name of it. I blanked on it. And I feel, did I get anything else? let me look at my Google Drive real quick and see if there's anything else I sent you.
Oh, also, when Bonnie comes home, we're gonna watch the new Game of Thrones. You reminded me of that with the.
Yeah. So Cece and I stopped in the middle of the second season of House of the Dragon, and
it's not as good as the first season.
It was not. I really liked the first actor that was playing the Queen, Rhaenyra. She was really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I've sent you all the new stuff I have because I've already sent you Daggerheart. I've sent you Shadow Dark. I don't think I've sent you Shadow of the Weird Wizard. That's Rob Schwab's game that's based on the Shadow of the Demon Lord stuff. I found Shadow of the Demon Lord kind of juvenile. It's grimdark, but it's like, here's a spell to make someone shit themselves to death. And it's like, there's a market for that. I'm not that market. It's like, yeah, you can rip out their liver. And it's a level of granularity in spells that I'm not interested in, but Shadow of the Weird Wizard is similar to Demon Lord, but it takes all the weird like stuff out. But it's cool because if you remember the RPG Traveler from the 70s, it had a life path. Well, there's something like 100 different character classes in Shadow of the Weird Wizard and Shadow of the Demon Lord, because you have an opening, you start off at level 0 if you want to do that, then you go into a starter class, then after a couple levels you pick a second class, then after a couple levels you pick an epic class. So you have 3 character classes per character. If you get all the way to level 10, you gain benefits as you level up in each class, and so there might be only 5 starter classes, but each of those starter classes has 5 options you can go into for the secondary class, and each of those secondary classes has another 5 for each of those that you go into. So it's quite fascinating.
That's cool. That's a lot of combos.
It's a lot of combos. It's kind of it's an alternative to 5e because it came out before 5e, I think, and so it's got some of the 4e DNA, it's got some of the 3e DNA, and it's cool. The cool thing about those games is Rob Schwab is a one-man publishing house, and he's written hundreds of adventures for his games. So you can like go on a drive-through RPG, give him $5, and all of a sudden you've got, hey, here's an entire world book. Here's an adventure that you can go on, and they're not like D&D adventures. They're shorter and more open-ended. But yeah, I'll have to send you that as well. My Shadow of the Weird Wizard.
Oh,
wait, I can do that right now.
Yeah,
what's up? Shadow of the Demon. I'll send you Demon Lord too, so you can see the shit yourself spells. DM Tauzy sent, and I will send you Shadow of the Weird Wizard as well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. Like I like to share the wealth. because most of the time, if someone I know likes a PDF I send them, they buy it if they want to actually play it.
I mean, I'm gonna start looking into that. I am.
Are you getting burned out on D&D?
Not burned out.
That's
not
good.
at all. No. No, I thought I would be at this point, but I'm really not.
I thought you would be too.
I thought I would be, but I'm not.
You
I just
play it
love
how
it.
many days a week? 6?
6 days a week. Play a lot.
It's a fucking dream, man.
I mean, look, 6 days a week, but I've had a involuntary vacation right now because of my surgery. But
yeah,
and I've learned that like I might feel good, but when push comes to shove and I need to play, like I suddenly start sweating. I'm like, oh shit, I need it, because you need to focus as a DM, and it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot.
When I had OG COVID for a month, every time I would try to do something, I would break out into a fever, and it's just like that's how it is when you're sick like that. When you've got the tooth infection, stuff like that, like the minute you got to do something, your body betrays you, and it's like, oof. But yeah, no, I'm surprised you were able to do 6 days a week. Like, if I was in my 20s, that would be the dream. Like, if you told 20-year-old me, hey, your job is going to be running D&D, like, fuck.
Well, now it's getting to the point where I need to I might have to do like 2 games a day and start pulling that way. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Good Lord. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a full-time acting job.
It is. It's a full-time acting job. It's, it needs to be exhausted sometimes.
Because you're going to need an hour between games, I would think, just to recover. So that's a 7-hour workday minimum. Probably 8 hours, because you need the hour before the first game and the hour before the second game just to get your head right. Yeah, that's 8
hours. That's it. That's you know.
It's a work day. You know,
it's a work day, and
it's not a work day for me, right?
Most people do a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, so it's nothing for me to complain about.
When I was a high school teacher, I was dead, but college professor, I do not work 8 hours a day. You know, like all of our friends are like, yeah, it's really impressive that you have this awesome job. I'm like, they pay me for the years it took to get the degree.
Yeah,
the work I do, because I
feel the same.
I believe I'm paid to do this.
I'm not being paid for the work for running the game. I'm being paid for the prep work and for my experience and knowledge beforehand.
Yeah,
and that's nice. That's nice,
because there are tons of people that are desperate to have a game with people that take it seriously. Yeah, like, and just the ability of someone throwing you a couple bucks does make them take the game prep seriously.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many games where I wish we had to pay to be in it, like $5 a session, just so the people would act right.
I can't tell you, and it's my biggest selling point. I can tell you how many players I've had at my table, new players, old players who are like, yeah, I was just in a campaign, but it petered out. Like we lost touch with each other, or life happened. And I'm like, yep, it happens all the time.
I mean, my in-person Dungeons of Drakenheim game fell apart because I had to direct a play, and like that play was I got gray hair from that because I cast 20-something people. I wanted to cast the biggest cast the department had ever seen and have it be a positive process. And it's like, you know, when an actor got arrested, got incarcerated, and I was not there one phone call, that was pretty tough. Yeah.
I mean, look, sunken cost fallacy is not a great selling point because it's kind of like, it's a little degenerative, but it does help. But it fucking works, man. Yeah. You put money into something, you want to finish it. Absolutely.
If I would be a lot more motivated to finish Dungeons of Drakenheim if every player handed me a 20 when I rolled up at the friendly local gaming store that was hosting it. But you know, like I eventually just lost interest in those characters because it was a lot of people's first real campaign. Mm-hmm. And so some of the characters were very interesting. Some of the characters weren't. And, you know, it's like, I think everyone, if we started a newer campaign, I would be much more into, you know, like starting Grim Hollow or something like that, where, you know, because everyone has already got their first campaign out of them. They know how I run games now, and it would be like a lot easier. I thought asking money from people would make the games worse because, you know, I would be too
I would be too
mercenary,
too nice, too like, yeah, too. I would treat it as like a reward thing. Like you paid me, so now I'm gonna be nice. But it's exactly the opposite. Like
people want you to be cruel.
Yeah.
People want the rule because there has to be consequence of death or risk. Otherwise, there's no reward.
And also, there's just that part of you that's like, well, I've taken your money, so I'm not gonna be nice. Like I'm gonna fight against that because it's an insult to both of us. Just to do this, like, you're not paying to win, you're paying to play.
Exactly. And like, I do think there's a benefit for the GM being adversarial, but not rude or mean-spirited.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like one of the principles of the Apocalypse World games is the GM, one of the rules they have to follow is be a fan of the characters. And part of being a fan is you have to put them through adversity. You have to make sure that their decisions matter.
Yeah.
Because if you really love these characters, you want to play to find out what happens when you give them these tests.
Yeah.
And part of the joy as a GM is seeing how they respond to the challenges. Like I've had players kill their own characters because they're like, I cannot continue playing this character. It has changed too much. They need to retire.
Yeah.
Or, like we tried giving one of our characters a happy ending in one of my campaigns, one of Billy's characters. And Billy he was not having it. Like when I do a thing when I run city games is I make everyone come up with 5 NPCs in the city that they're connected to because it'll immediately give me someone to act as and NPCs that they'll care about. Well, Billy's character was just kind of already broken, and his main interest is a prostitute named Gola that he pays to keep him company. And I remember I would try to make Gola like kind of start to fall for him a bit, and he'd be like, no. He's like, I slap her. He's like, no, she can't get close. And it's like when that campaign ended, Billy's character, he wanted his character dead.
Yeah.
He's like, this character is the villain.
I love it.
It's cool.
We'll stop here. Trey wants to go to bed. Trey, you can go to bed, buddy.
I gotta go to bed too. But
go to bed, guys. Go take care of your peeing cat. Next week is the AEW pay-per-view Forbidden Door. All right. No tricks next week.
But on my end, I get to see a bunch of Japanese and Mexican pro wrestlers because the gimmick of Forbidden Door is that multiple companies put on the pay-per-view together. It's something WWE would never do. But other companies that are like into wrestling, they're like, yeah, we'll be an alliance of companies. And so there's the AEW Women's Champion is an Austrian bitch named Tekla, who is a visual artist and lead singer of a punk band who got into wrestling. And she got fired in Japan when she signed with AEW. They had her get carried out of a building. So she is now feuding with that entire promotion when she climbed a ladder up to a sign that said Stardom, the Japanese promotion, and spit on it. And she has now showed up in Japan and attacked the owner of Stardom with a razor blade trying to cut his hair off. And she's like, when I spit on your logo, I make it more valuable because Stardom sucks. So it's super fun. It's like totally, obviously it's all storyline, but it's ridiculously fun because you see matchups that you don't ordinarily see. So I will be very happy next week. Hopefully the cats will stop peeing. Well, best of luck, dude. All right. Well, we'll do this again in 2 weeks, hopefully in July. Weeks. Yeah. Hope everybody had fun. I will see you guys. I'll see you cats this week. Also, I'm looking for more players. If you're looking to play with me, I'm looking for Friday nights. Looking to start a group on Friday nights. That's a TBD. Probably doing Azure Sky or maybe which night is that? Friday nights. Friday nights. Mm-hmm. What's the time? Is that Central Time? Friday nights 5 p.m. PT. So that would be, I couldn't do that. That'd be 7 p.m. your time. Because Friday night, my wife has picked a new home group for her recovery community, and they do games on Friday nights, and I could theoretically play D&D that night, but it's just a little bit. That's a little bit late for. That's okay. That's all right. Well, that's happening. We will see you cats in 2 weeks. Have a good one, everybody. Bye, guys.